Hi guys, I'm just going to very quickly go through how to edit your zones for your following a threshold test on your bike. So this is my calendar here. Okay, if you go into your name at the top on the right hand side of the screen and then press on settings, this will take you to your profile. You go on the left hand side, you've got all this down here, go on to zones. Okay, so you might already have a heart rate, which means that you'll just have to adjust it, or if not, you'll have to add one in. So I have a default heart rate here. That just means that if I don't have separate ones, like a bike or a run heart rate, then the computer, the Training Peaks program will just use this heart rate. So if you do have a different threshold heart rate for your bike and your run, then it's very important that you have separate ones in your zones here as well. So if you look down here, I've got a bike heart rate and a run heart rate. Okay, so if you already have a bike heart rate, then all you do is adjust this. So delete it, put in what it is. Okay, you go down on auto calculation. Don't worry about the max heart rate or the resting heart rate. Just the threshold heart rate is important. Go on to lactate threshold, choose your method, and I recommend that you use Andy Kogan's method, and then you press calculate. You must press apply afterwards. If you notice, these zones are slightly different to the zones that I use, or rather the vocabulary that I use. So there's still 5 zones, so I would use easy, and you can actually type those in as well if you forget what I'm talking about, or if you want to be reminded, then add it to your account settings. So aerobic capacity, I use steady. Tempo rides, I use moderate. Threshold, I use hard. And VO2 max, I use max. Okay, so that is applied. To save that, you must save underneath. Now, if you do not have a bike heart rate section, then you need to add one in. So if you go down to underneath either the default heart rate, you'll have this, or underneath where you have any other heart rates, it has add activity. So before the power, do not go past the power. You add an activity, and if you already haven't got this activity, it will be in the list there. So you can see I don't have bike because I already have one. So if I was to put brick in, for example, and then press add, put in my heart rate threshold. So again, choose the lactate threshold, and then Andy Kogan, calculated already. And if you notice, these are the heart rate ranges. So it's not just one, this is what the heart rate you need to stick to, but these are the range. So for zone 1, an active recovery, easy ride, your heart rate mustn't go above what's in that column there. So for me, 114. A threshold heart rate shouldn't go above 177. Okay, you press apply and then you press save. If you did the test and you've done a power test, so a power threshold test, an FTP, then you need to apply the same thing for this. So during that 30-minute effort that you did, you should have lapped your watt after 10 minutes, and then again after another 20 minutes. So in that 30 minutes, you lap at 10 and then lap at 30. And that gives you 20-minute effort that you've done. So you're looking at your power between those 20 minutes. Okay, so if you've already got the power there for this is a default power. So let's add in a bike power. So you go to bike, you add, put that threshold in, 226. Auto calculation, threshold power, choose method and calculate. Apply. And again, if you wanted to put those zones into MySpeak, then here, this is how you do it. So easy, steady is zone 2, moderate is zone 3, zone 4 is your sweet spot. Zone 5 is your threshold, so that's hard. And then zone 6 is max. Okay, so that's applied. You just need to remember to save at the bottom there. Hope that helps. Any questions about power or heart rate threshold, then please do not hesitate to ask. Save, close and close. Now that's into your computer, into your training program. So any information then you have regarding your workouts should be accurate. If you want to have a look at how your fitness is going, go to the dashboard. This is your performance management. Without that data being up to date, this chart doesn't mean anything. Okay, so I won't go into massive detail, but if you look at the intensity factor of this particular workout, it was 0.77. If that data was inaccurate, then that intensity factor would be inaccurate. My fitness here is 58. That wouldn't be accurate if that data wasn't. So it's quite important to keep that up to date, and as you go along, when you're on board with me, you keep adjusting as we go. Back to the calendar to have a look at what your next program is. Thank you.